Alright guys, this video is going to be about something that I haven't seen covered much, and I haven't heard many people talk about this, and if they do talk about what I'm about to talk about, I don't often agree with it. And that is, those of you who know anything about Japan, whether it be like actual facts or stereotypes, a common notion about Japan and Asian people as a whole is that they are only hardworking, they don't have fun. Japanese and Asian people are overly polite, they have ridiculous formalities, they're reserved and quiet, and there is plenty of reason for people to think that. I mean, the word karoshi in Japanese means death by overwork. They have a word that means death by overwork. But the thing about it is, Japanese people do definitely know how to have fun. They are just as, I mean, that's a human need. It's silly when people think things like that, that they're only serious about everything. The golden rule to Japan and its eccentricities and pleasantries and good fun is that there is a time and place for everything. That's the golden rule. For example, if you go on any public transportation in Japan, it is normally dead quiet. No one talks, and if there is someone talking, they're keeping their voice so low you could never make out what they're saying. And that is out of politeness towards your other fellow citizens riding the bus or train with you. And also when you go to stores and things like that, yes, the clerks and people there use very, very formal Japanese to speak with you, and there are a lot of formalities that you have to go through. But like I said, the golden rule, there's a time and place for everything in Japan, even being crazy. So basically in America, say you get on a bus with your friend, it's free game, it's anyone's game. You can talk as much or as loud as you want. There's no like unspoken rule that says you have to keep your voice down. And usually in like an American bus, these people talk, and then they can't really hear each other, so then they have to like talk even louder. Well, then they can't hear each other, so they talk louder, and it just turns into this big shouting contest. And so in America, the time and place for everything can be anytime and anywhere, depending on the person. I'm not saying all Americans are just like rude slobs, but the time and place rule definitely applies more in Japan. So if you want to be loud in Japan and mess around, don't go to a bus, go to an izakaya, or a bar. An izakaya is an establishment made solely for the sake of drinking, eating, and shouting with your friends. That's all you do there, and it's perfectly fine there, and if you go there, it gets pretty loud. Another thing people usually know about Japan and Asian countries is that PDA, public display of affection, is not that cool. Like, you can hold hands with your significant other or something like that, but kissing and beyond is just a no-no. So there is also a time and place for such signs of affection, and public is not one of them, because like I said, it might disturb other people. Time and place for that is either at home, obviously, a love hotel. There are love hotels everywhere in Japan. Different kinds of hotels. A ryokan, a traditional Japanese hotel. Those places are great if you want to display your affection. And if you're really affectionate, you can go to an echimise, aka a brothel, and just show all the affection you can. The reason for this behavior is just because of the way Japan is. It's a whole lot of people on a tiny little island, and you're never alone. Like I said, like, houses are right next to each other. There's no such thing as a yard in most people's houses in Japan. Houses are just house, and then street is right there. You walk out the front door and you're stepping on the street for a lot of Japanese houses. And the walls are paper thin. Anything drives by your house, you know it's there. And when you're in public transportation, like sitting on a bus, those are also very crowded. So if you're sitting right next to two people, do those two people really want you to be shouting in their ear to your friend? No. People don't realize how much space we have in America, how much alone time we have in America. It's really a blessing. So because there is very limited space in Japan, if you want to do something that might disturb your neighbor, you need to go to a place where everyone is doing that activity. Like I said, a time and a place for everything, and it'll be perfectly okay. For example, I'm in a punk rock band here right now, and first of all, Japanese houses are too small to hold a drum set anyway, but obviously if we practiced in a Japanese suburban setting, the entire neighborhood would know what we were playing, and it would be a huge disturbance. So every time we practice, we go to a music studio, and everyone there is jamming very loud, and it's a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun, but it's just, that's the place you go when you want to do that. If you want to sing really loud, go to a karaoke bar. You can be so loud at a karaoke bar, and you don't have to be good. That's just, there's a specific space for activities in Japan. I've also noticed with the idea of a time and place, just when the sun goes down, people get more lively and loud and happy-go-lucky. Like just it being nighttime is like the time and place for fun in Japan. And Japan's nightlife is pretty insane. And Osaka, the city that I live in, is definitely a work hard, party hard kind of place. Like, people spend the whole day doing their best at their job, and then they go out and drink, and by the time they're done drinking, it's time to go and work at their job again. So yeah, it's not really a tough concept or anything, but I just want to make sure people out there knew that Japanese people know how to get down, you know what I'm saying? And if you come to Japan, there will be plenty of getting down to do. I know I've gotten down once or twice. Get down tonight.